My name is Verona Watson, and this is my story. When I was 7 years old, I was living in an Indian village by the name of Tom's Hope. I was living with my parents, my 3 sisters, and my 1 brother. The best thing about living in Tom's Hope is that there is a big river. It's called Sandy River. Before we go to school, we would go by the river to bathe, and of course it would take longer time than necessary. Most of the time my mother had to leave the house, come by the river in order to get us ready on time for school. One day my mother was washing at the river. Of course we were in the water, we were swimming and playing and having a good time. My 2 older sisters, Kaden and Latoya, they decided that they wanted to go explore upstream. They wanted to see if they could find a deeper pond than the one we were swimming in. My brother decided that he was going to go with them, so my little sister was on the shore. I did not want to stay with her, the little kid. I wanted to do what the big children were doing, so after they swam out into the water, because that's what we would do, in order to go upstream, we would not walk on the bank because we love the water so much. What we would do is swim in the pool. When it became too shallow for us to swim, we would just walk upstream until we come up on the next deep pond that we could actually swim. So my 2 elder sisters, they swam out into the water and they were going. My brother joined them, and then I was behind my brother. When I reached where it was shallow, I could not swim anymore. For me to get out of the water and walk to catch them, I decided that, well, since they're not paying me any mind anyway, I'm just going to turn around in the water instead of get out. I did that. I was upset. I mean, how could they have just gone upstream and not even look back to see if I was coming? So I just swim around in the water, and I was heading back to where my mother was and my younger sister. When I reached into the middle of the water, I got into difficulty and I began to drown. I was just going up and down. When I float up to the top, I would try to catch a little air, and when I was going down, because of my swimming experience, I would try to stop my breath. I don't know what was happening. I could not swim away. I just found myself going up and down. And then I became a bit frustrated. I felt someone grab my 2 arms. So I was like this in the water, and someone was holding on to my 2 wrists. But whoever it was not strong enough to pull me out of the water, because despite this person holding my hands like this, I was sinking and the person was trying to pull me up. And each time I sink to the bottom, the person would be holding my hand and continue to pull me up out of the water, and I'm still drowning. In my mind, I gave up. I was exhausted, going up and down into the water, taking a little water sometimes. I gave up. I was sinking to the bottom of the water, and my body weight seems to have been too much for the person holding my hand, because I was just sinking. And I could feel the person putting pressure on my wrist, but I was not being pulled up. I was just going down in the water. And then I felt an arm holding me around my waist from behind and pulling me up and pulling me out of the water. I came out of the water. I was gasping for air. I was not unconscious. I did not take in too much water. I was unconscious. My eyes were watery. I was just overwhelmed. Then the person took me to the shore, and I realized that it was my mother. And the person holding my hand was my brother. He was just 9 years old. So he wasn't strong enough to pull me out of the water, but he was trying. What had happened was, my sister on the shore, my younger sister, she saw what was happening and she alerted my mom, and she came and she saved me. If the water covered me by 2.5, it would thereabout cover my brother about the same thing. So the water would be about 2.5 my brother's height. And he said that he was standing on a stone. When he saw me drowning, he came back to where I was, because he was going upstream with my sisters as well. My sisters, older than I am, they did not see what was happening, but my brother saw, and he turned back and he was trying to help me. I am alive today because Jesus performed a miracle for me. After my brother told the story about being standing on a so-called rock, my sisters, even my brother, they all wanted to see this rock, because this is a water that we've played in every day. And we are sure that there is no rock in the water. So everybody was swimming and diving, trying to find this rock that he was standing on. But he did not. Nobody did. There was never a rock in that water. I am so grateful to God right now. Some of the time God worked miracles for us. And fortunately, I know what the Lord did for me. But sometimes God does so many things for us and we're not even aware of the stones, of the rock that God placed in our way to save our lives or to better our lives. So today I just want to say thank you, God, for sending that rock, Jesus, to save me from my sin and to save me from that water.